You hear the phrase worship service all the time, right? But have you ever really stopped to break it down? What do those two words, worship and service, actually mean when we put them together? Well, let's dive in.
So, when I say worship service, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, I'm guessing it's a pretty familiar scene.
But is that really the whole story? Is the incredible act of worship just about singing some songs? Yeah, for a lot of people, worship is all about the music. You've got the band, the lyrics up on the big screen, everyone singing together. But what if that's only scratching the surface of something way, way deeper? To really get to the heart of it, let's look at that first word, worship, because there's this fascinating split between how we often feel about the word versus what it originally meant. Okay, so check this out. Today, we think of worship as a feeling, right? An expression of adoration. But its original meaning was all about action. It meant showing homage or even submitting to a higher will. It was something you did, not just something you felt. And that's the key right there. If worship is truly about action and submission to God's will, then the real act of worship goes way beyond just singing words of praise. It's about fundamentally aligning our actions with that will. So let's move on to the second word in the phrase, because this is where it really starts to build. Service. This word is just as important and maybe a lot more straightforward than we make it. The definition is just beautifully simple. Service is the work done for others. That's it. It's not about an internal feeling, it's about an external action that actually benefits someone else. And this kind of leads us to a challenging question, doesn't it? If service is work done for others, what work is actually being done for other people when the main activity is singing? I mean, it can make us feel good for sure, but does it fit the definition of service? Okay, so we've looked at the two pieces of the puzzle. Now, let's put them together. This is where we see the really powerful picture they create.
At the very heart of this whole idea is Christ's central teaching. You know, he was asked for the greatest commandment, and his answer linked two concepts together so tightly you just can't pull them apart. Love God and love others.
And this is where it all clicks. To love God, that is our worship, our action. And how do we do that? By serving others. That's the service. The two commandments aren't separate items on a checklist. They merge into one single mission, a true worship service. So here's the big takeaway. True worship isn't separate from service. To truly worship God is to actively serve other people. You know, God doesn't need our service. Our fellow humans do. And once you start seeing it this way, it redefines more than just a Sunday morning gathering. It really redefines our entire mission. When worship becomes a lifestyle of active service, it's no longer a weekly event. It becomes the very way we accomplish our mission on earth. It's about building something, not just attending something. So what does this look like in the real world? Well, it looks like believers gathering not just to sing, but to stay connected, to stay organized. It looks like actively identifying people in need and then actually helping them. It means networking with other groups to expand that service even further. This is what seeking the kingdom of God is, an active, living network of service. So you see, this perspective isn't just an interesting idea. It's really an invitation to act. And if this little explainer has given you a new way to think about worship and service, we'd love it if you would help us spread the message by liking, sharing, and subscribing for more. And if you want to go even deeper, the original article that inspired this is linked for you right down in the description. Most importantly, if you want to put these ideas into action, you can connect with a whole network of people on the same path. The link to join is also in the description below. So we'll leave you with this final thought. It's not just about what you believe, but what you do. The real question is, how will you serve today?